Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video day, and today the Chicago Cubs have claimed Shawn Armstrong off of waivers from the St. Louis Cardinals. Shawn Armstrong this season has played for the Tampa Bay Rays and the St. Louis Cardinals, and just a couple days ago, the Cardinals DFA'd Shawn Armstrong, and now, a couple days later, the Chicago Cubs are picking him back up on waivers, claiming him. I actually like this addition for the Chicago Cubs. Look, even though I don't think it's likely they make it to the wild card as that last wild card spot, I still will give them a shot. They do have the talent offensively and a little bit pitching wise to the point where they could get that last spot if they get hot in the last about 30 games. They're just as of Friday, 5 o'clock on August 30th, they are 5 games back from that last wild card spot, and like a game and a half back from the New York Mets, who are the next team. The New York Mets I believe are the next team to get into that wild card spot. So they got to pass the New York Mets, and then then the next spot they would jump would be the last wild card spot. It's only 5 games back, with 28 games remaining for the Chicago Cubs. Look, I think there's a shot. I don't think it happens. I'm not going to rule it out, though, because I just think that, I'm an Astros fan myself, so I look at what happened with the Astros. The Astros were 10 games back on June 19th from the division, and we saw the Astros get really hot exactly a month later on July 19th. The Houston Astros beat the Seattle Mariners. And they were, I know that this is a little bit different. This is not on the wild card race. This is division race. But they were 10 games back from the division. Then exactly a month later, they ended up having the division lead in a tiebreaker. So now, look, yes, the Astros played some great baseball there. Also, they had some help by the Mariners dropping some games. So I think I don't see the Cubs getting as hot as where the Astros were from from June 19th or July 19th. So I think they need the Mets or I can't remember who's in that last wild card spot. I believe it's the Braves. So they need the Mets and the Braves to drop some games and get a little cold, and then they need to get hot. But if the Astros in 1 month, and you would think around 28 games were played in that month, if not less than that, probably less than that. If the Astros probably played less than 28 games, most likely, in that month period from June 19th to July 19th, say they had 5 off days in the month, maybe they had 3 or 4, so that would mean they played less amount of games than we would see the Cubs play with 28 games left. So if the Astros had, if they're down 10 games in the division and they made that kind of jump, I would say, honestly, I didn't think it was going to be possible for the Astros to do that themselves. I thought they could. I just didn't know if they were capable of doing that. So with the Astros being 10 when they were 10 games back, if the Cubs are 5 games back from the wild card, if you can do 10, I think five's water in the park. But honestly, I think it's going to be a little bit harder for the Cubs because the Astros got really hot, and it wasn't just the fact that the Astros got really hot. The Mariners were losing some games, so they need to continue. They've been winning recently. I know they've had a really successful series in Pittsburgh, so they need to keep that going and keep it up in these final 28 games. I would say maybe you'd have to win around. I would say maybe you have to win around 15. I don't know. I think you probably need more than 15. I'd probably say around 18. You probably need to win around 18 to 20 of your final games to make the wild card for that last wild card spot. So we'll see if they can do it, though. But they have added in some help in the bullpen to do it, and it's Shawn Armstrong. I want to get into Shawn Armstrong because in 2024 this year, it's kind of been a little bit crazy for him. So he starts off the year with the Tampa Bay Rays. It was terrible in Tampa, 38 games, 7 starts, had an ERA of 5.40, and in those 38 games pitched, he pitched 46 innings, 46 innings and 2/3 of an inning, so almost went 47 innings. He gave 56 hits, 30 runs, 28 earned runs, 5 home runs, 19 walks, and 50 strikeouts. Now, obviously, this doesn't seem like a guy that's going to help out the Chicago Cubs, but here's the information you need to know. Because on the trade deadline, I actually remember this. This actually didn't get reported until like 5 minutes after the deadline was supposed to happen. It was a late deal that was announced. And the Cardinals sent Dylan Carlson to the Tampa Bay Rays for Shawn Armstrong. And the funny thing is, if you ask me, I would say this was just a terrible trade for the Cardinals because about a month later, or about 2 months later, it's almost 2 months later. We've seen Shawn Armstrong, do good for St. Louis. And I'll go over his stats in a minute, but they end up DFAing him. Dylan Carlson, on the other end, is doing pretty solid in Tampa Bay. As in 20 games, Dylan Carlson has had 3 home runs, 10 RBIs, and a batting average of .230, which I know those numbers might seem mid, which they are, but the production that Dylan Carlson was giving with St. Louis before then, compared to what he's doing with Tampa Bay, is much better. With Tampa Bay, he had like a batting average of 198, didn't even hit a single home run in Tampa Bay, and we're talking about 70 games with, with St. Louis. With St. Louis, batting average was 198, didn't even hit a single home run in 70-something games. Also, was just terrible for St. Louis. They trade him for Armstrong. And then he goes to Tampa Bay. He's hit 3 home runs in 20 games when he couldn't even hit 1 in 70 with St. Ous. And his batting average has gone from 198 to 230. So he's been way better with Tampa Bay than he was with St. Louis. And you could say the same thing for Armstrong, but Armstrong's not with St. Louis anymore. Armstrong pitched 11 games for the St. Louis Cardinals coming off the bullpen in every single game. He had 1 win, so he was 1-0. He had an ERA of 2.84, and he pitched 13 innings, giving up 11 hits, 4 runs, all earned runs, 1 home run, 2 walks, with 12 strikeouts. He almost had more strikeouts than he had innings. Now, I also want to go over his 2023 campaign with the Tampa Bay Rays because he was amazing in 2023 as well with Tampa Bay. With Tampa Bay in 2023, 39 games pitched, 6 starts, 1-0 record, 1.38 ERA, 52 innings, 36 hits, given up 12 runs, given up 8 earned run, 2 home runs, 11 walks with 54 strikeouts. So he was great in 2023 with Tampa Bay. Yes, was he very bad in 2024 with Tampa Bay, but he goes to St. Louis, does some really good things. Things are different for Armstrong. So if you can see the Armstrong that was great in 39 games for Tampa Bay in 2023 and looked like his old self, looked like a little bit of his old self in 2024 in the 11 games he played with St. Louis, I think it's a good addition for the Chicago Cubs. So let me know your thoughts on the addition for the Chicago Cubs in the comment section, and peace out.